Living in Japan is amazing. There's so much to love, but no one really talks about the emotional side of it. The loneliness, pressure to fit in, the feeling of not fully belonging anywhere. After living here since 2017, I've been through all of it. But at the same time, there are a lot of things I've come to love that no one really talks about either. Today, I want to share both sides. What makes life in Japan challenging, but also what makes it special in ways you wouldn't expect. Japan is convenient, safe, and exciting. We all know that. But it can also be really isolating. It's not like other countries where you just randomly make friends in daily life. People have their social circles, and as a foreigner, it can be hard to break in, especially as an adult. For years, I was so focused on one person that I didn't realize I wasn't really building my own community. And when that relationship ended, I suddenly felt like I had no one. I'd go to work, come home, repeat. Felt like I was surrounded by people, but still completely alone. And I love Japan. I chose to stay, but no one really tells you that you can love a place and still feel isolated in it. Making friends in Japan isn't impossible. I mean, I've built my own circle of close friends, but it definitely took time. In some ways, it feels like a lot of friendships here stay at the surface level, even after knowing someone for years. Japanese people are generally friendly and polite, and when you meet someone new, they'll be super nice. But actually getting close to someone, that's a different story. People here tend to have their set of friend groups from childhood, school, or work, and it's not easy to become part of those circles. And then there's dating and ghosting. I know ghosting happens everywhere, but in Japan, it's almost normalized. And when it happens, it's usually not out of malice, but it's just how people avoid confrontation. If someone's not interested anymore, instead of saying it directly, they'll just disappear. No text, no explanation, nothing. And what's crazy is that sometimes they'll still watch your stories, like your posts, and act like nothing happened. Recently, I've been so busy, I haven't done my grocery shopping for a while. So today, before I continue, let's go to the grocery store and buy some food supplies. But here's the thing, being an outsider isn't always a bad thing. In some ways, it actually gives you more freedom. There are so many social expectations that Japanese people have to follow. But as a foreigner, you're not really bound by them. No one expects you to work ridiculous overtime hours or to follow every unspoken rule of hierarchy. You can kind of just do your own thing. In a way, being seen as different gives you a certain level of freedom that even locals don't always have. Before moving to Japan, I used to feel awkward doing things alone. But here, no one cares. Japan normalizes eating alone, going to movies alone, even traveling solo. And at first, it felt weird, but over time, I started to love it. I even go to karaoke by myself. I don't feel self conscious about sitting in a cafe by myself anymore. I don't wait for someone else to make plans, I just go. And that's something I never really experienced before moving here. Another thing I never expected, how much Japan would make me slow down and appreciate the little things. In Japan, seasons actually feel meaningful. Spring means cherry blossoms and hanami. Summer has fireworks and festivals, and fall smells like roasted sweet potatoes. And winter is all about cozy kotatsu and holiday lights. Even convenience store snacks change every season. It makes you pay attention to the present instead of just rushing through life. And that's something I never really noticed before coming here. Another thing I really appreciate Japan is how little people judge you, or at least how little they show it. In many places, people are very vocal about their opinions on how you should live your life, what you should wear, or even who you should date. But in Japan, people mostly just mind their own business. This mind your own business culture can feel a little cold at first, but once you get used to it, it's actually freeing. You don't have to explain yourself to anyone. You don't owe anyone an excuse for why you do things the way you do. And honestly, coming from a culture where people always have something to say about your choices, this is one of the best things about living in Japan. Living in Japan challenges you in ways you don't expect. You learn patience, you learn resilience, you get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And over time, you realize you've changed. I am not the same person I was when I first moved here. And honestly, I wouldn't want to be. So, after all that, why am I still here? Because despite everything, I love the life I've built. It's not perfect, but I found ways to make it my own. I reconnected with my old friends, started making new ones, and most importantly, I stopped waiting for other people to make me feel at home. I started doing things alone. Not because I had to, but because I wanted to. I hope this video gave you some insight into the realities of living in Japan and helped you decide whether or not it's the right place for you. Everyone's experience is different, but for me, despite the challenges, I wouldn't trade it for anything. Do you still want to move to Japan? Let me know. Anyway, I have to go to work now, and see you in another day in my life. じゃあね。